Hello, and welcome to the CRM Zen Show. This is episode number 280. Ooh la la, mademoiselle. For Friday, December 8th, 2023, for Zenatta Consulting. I'm Brett Martin.
And I'm Tyler Colt, and let's get right on into the show. Wow, that might have just been the most horrifying thing I've ever seen.
What? Oh, Shimoli.
For the
well, in
audio
fact,
only,
the person that asked Tyler is, in fact, an AI bot.
And, for the audio-only listeners, Freddie put together a little intro using AI versions of Brett and I. Yeah, I hate that. That is horrifying.
The question I have, I'm curious from the audio listeners, because they way outnumber our YouTube listeners. Were you able to tell? Because that was not Tyler and I speaking. That was literally Freddie put text into the Brett bot and the Tyler bot, and it spit out that in our voice. And it's crazy, man. Crazy,
kind of scary.
Joe Rogan has done an entire. He's got an AI thing where the entire show is AI. It's not even him, right? That's just in his voice, and they pop in like Hulk Hogan's voice, and he has an entire conversation. I'm not even sure how. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. So, good times. All right, well, that was fun, Freddie. With that, why don't we jump right on into the show and look at some announcements and events. All righty. As always, if you head over to Club Zenatta, that is our online community. And over at Club Zenatta, we have discussion forums. You can ask questions for our show, Ask Zenatta anything about Zoho. And we also keep track of all the events in the world of Zoho. Not just from us, but from everyone. So starting with what we've got going on over here at Zenatta. We're kind of wrapping things up here. We've got today's show, Tyler. Then in December, we are going to do another CRM Zen show, another Azaz, another CRM Zen show, and then you and I are going to do the third annual ZenMe's and our year in review. We've been doing the year in review for more than 3 years, but this will be the third annual ZenMe Awards. We are looking forward to that. If you're not aware, if you haven't voted yet, please vote. I don't know if we've got that link up.
Hey, Brett.
Yep.
It is actually the 4th annual ZenMe's.
Really? 4 years running.
3rd was last year.
It is.
We're getting old, Brett. We are getting old.
Wow. It's the 4th annual ZenMe Awards. And so you might want to check that out. And we'll drop a link down below in the description of either the podcast or here at YouTube. Actually, you can just go to zenatta.com/ZenMe's and you can vote right there. Thank you, Freddie, for getting that up there. But so that's coming up. And then in January, the usual stuff. And we're not sure what we're going to do here, but we've got Marketing Automation 2.0 full product overview. We normally do our Zoho 1 review. We're kind of deciding, should we do that? Everybody's been asking about marketing automation. Maybe we'll do that. Not much really has changed, Tyler, in Zoho 1 in the last 12 months. So maybe we just stick with the one we have. But one thing I think we're going to think about doing, and I'd love to get everyone's thoughts on this, is really just to run down not just Zoho 1, but all the Zoho apps. We've got our resource library where we rank them. Yes, maybe, not quite yet. It's time for us. Maybe we do that every month. We'll give it one real good polish over, go through, make sure they're all in the right spots, and then maybe just do a quick little, show where we talk about all the Zoho apps. It'll probably take 2 hours, but maybe we can do it quicker. We come up with some little format and kind of break them all down. But that's what we've got going on. And then I think in February, we're planning on doing Zoho Recruit, a fantastic application. We'll be going through that one. And then Zoho Vault. I love that app. I use it all the time personally now. And so that is what we've got going on currently, scheduled for the next year. And then over at Zoho, a few new events that they've added in. They are rolling out their Creator Tech Connect series in December. And then they have a Zoho Sign 2023 run through and product live updates coming up on Tuesday, December 12th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. You will not want to miss that. And that's the world of events in the world of Zoho. And with that, let's Let's get on into the news. All right, we are going to start with Zoho Creator. Upcoming updates for December 2023. Zia Assistant is going to be powered by OpenAI inside of Zoho Creator. That is probably going to be just exceptionally cool. I just can't wait to see
anything that
that.
helps kind of speed up development, right? If it can shortcut a couple scripts here and there, always going to be pretty darn useful. It is nice to see them kind of tying in some of the other AI tools rather than just trying to build all this themselves. I know they're working on some of them internally, but why not kind of use some of these off-the-shelf tools? Looks like it'll be able to help with creating forms, field suggestions, handful of different things across application development inside of Creator. Looks like as well, they're also building out some tools to create custom APIs. I will say within Creator, you've got a pretty robust set of APIs, but if you do need to create your own, that will be available for you. Now, a lot of these are just coming to Creator 6, it looks like. We're always trying to track that as we look at Creator updates, right? Like some of them come to 5, some are only going to be coming out for 6. A lot of these look exclusive to Creator 6, so do keep that in mind. Also adding some tools here for tracking support tickets. This would be like for users of your app submitting tickets for you. So you'll be able to kind of track that through Creator and do some of that help desk management just natively on the back end of the application.
Yeah. And now you've got a backup expiration for Creator 5. So while the expiry date for backups was pretty exclusive to Creator 6, we're excited to announce that you can now do it in Creator 5 as well. This is one of those things I just, eventually we're going to have to move from Creator 5 to Creator 6, and I'm
dreading that.
I'm dreading.
Dreading the day.
Not that Creator 6 isn't great. It's just when you take something that is, I don't know, hundreds, tens of thousands of lines of code, how many lines of code is there?
Yeah, if you count all the HTML and CSS that's in our app, it's it's something else.
If you know what we're talking, we have a Creator application that we pretty much run Zenatta on. All the devs, all the communication with our clients. It's a portal. It's everything, and I'm sure it's going to be fine. But it's we're probably going to have to run some parallel stuff here. Maybe the sooner the better, huh?
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving the whole thing into a demo account, moving that to 6, and just seeing what goes wrong. Just to start playing with it a little bit, because it's not always perfectly smooth.
All right, moving on. The Office team over at Zoho, especially the writer team, has been quite busy. And so they actually have a blog, new features to power up Zoho Writer's merge templates, part 2, payment field support, dynamic signer assignment, and conditional attachments, and more. Zoho Writer is Zoho's word processor application. It is extremely powerful. As a matter of fact, I was on a call with Tyler yesterday, who for the first time ever said, you know what? It's kind of growing on me. Which is big for you. I mean, you've always...
it's taken a lot of time. It still does weird things. We did have to fight for about 5 minutes with it to close a giant gap in the document that appeared with no rhyme or reason or sensibility. But it's good. I mean, the big thing with Writer is just the merge capabilities, right? Being able to easily script out an automation really from like any Zoho app that just makes and sends a document for signature or really whatever you need from it. Super powerful. Handful of the updates here. So they're allowing payment receipts and notifications to run through Zoho Writer. This is important to kind of go through this one specifically because a lot of people have been begging for being able to send someone like a signable document or a document in general that allows payment. This is not exactly what this does. So what this is really more of a Zoho form with a payment checkout on it, routing to a writer template to create a payment receipt. So this is not quite like taking payment through a merge document, kind of thinking like Panda Docs and things like that will allow you to kind of build those sections, but hopefully a step in the right direction, just getting that checkout functionality to run in line with a document merge.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And now you've got rules-based signer assignment, which is very nice. You can dynamically assign signers and alert them and alert additional signers based on rules that you have as to who should sign based upon what in the document. So, for example, they're using here is if the value of the number is greater than $500,000, then it's going to change who has to approve that and sign it based upon those kind of things. That is very specific use case that oftentimes I think some of this stuff inside Zoho is based upon somebody going, hey, I need this kind of thing. But that actually, I see a lot of, that's pretty cool across the board. I mean, if you're building out massive contracts and just the ability on these contracts when you're sending them out to change who the signers are, that's pretty cool. And I like how they're doing this. So they're doing this without sign tags. I haven't really played around with this too much because normally when we create writer documents and merge template documents, all the sign stuff is handled with sign tags. This is a whole different way of handling that. Kind of cool.
It's kind of if you're like delivering the document straight through writer rather than kicking it through Zoho Sign, because you're actually like emailing it out from here. So kind of a different.
It's still going through Zoho Sign though, am I right?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be their signer fields on the back end, but a different workflow as you're actually sending it out. Also had a couple other things here down the page. So conditional attachments. A lot of these are based around if you're emailing this document out from writer, right? So run the merge and email it directly. You can set up some conditional rules of like additional documents that should be attached to something. So if they were to fill out some type of, their example here is like a new student form, and based on the type of student, you could email the document they completed as well as a subset of additional PDFs along with it once that's been finalized. So never hurts, right? This could be like a white paper sign up, things like that. Couple little updates for formatting numbers inside of the document. So this is added, I guess, what is called cardinal ordinal numbers, which would be like displaying a number based on the written out version of that number. So, if you're watching us on YouTube, if you scroll down just like an inch more, it will show all of that total written out. So like $26,500. So it just turns it into like the text version of any number rather than the number itself. Again, more formatting is always good, right? Because that's something where if someone needs that before, you'd have to like remake that format in Deluge and then insert it in a document, which is a pain in the butt. So yeah, nice round of updates here kind of across the board from the writer team.
Yep, a whole bunch. There's a bunch you'll want to take a look at them and go through, but I think we covered the highlights. And moving along with the news, we've got Discover, the latest features in boosting your Zoho Calendar experience. Oh, Zoho Calendar, how I love the. This is really getting better. Actually, I'm kind of happy with this. This is a pretty decent update here. You can now auto-suggest a slot that would fit in your agenda and potentially someone else's from participants. So it's going to suggest a time slot. So this is kind of an organizational thing. So if in your organization you're doing something, it's actually going to look at the other person's calendar and kind of suggest slots around that. Kind of a standard thing that is exists in calendar. So that's good. You now have out of office sync. Which is also very nice. So
this is syncing from Zoho Mail, right? So if you've got an out of office in Zoho Mail, it'll now show that automatically on the calendar side of the house.
Right, which is nice. Very, very nice. Letting people know that. I don't know of any other mail client that does that with their calendar. It's kind of good. And that's it. That's Zoho Calendar. Zoho Calendar is a standalone application. You can also get it if you have Zoho Mail. It's going to be part of that overall mail thing. It'll be on the side. That is exactly the same application. And that is what has happened with Zoho Calendar. And then wrapping up, we got a couple more stories here. So Zoho Backstage, really just one change that they've added in here. They now have data security for health information with HIPAA. So basically, the HIPAA is a privacy policy that was enforced by the federal government. And basically, if you are doing things that with private health care information, it has to be handled delicately and privately. And now inside of Backstage, you can do that. So my guess is if this is a health-related conference, I mean, again, if you're using Backstage and you're trying to basically use HIPAA compliance, you have to be in that industry, I would imagine,
Very
doing a
specific,
conference.
yeah, very specific use case. If you scroll up, I love the example that they gave. This is a great feature. And let me be clear, I'm going to make a little fun, but it never hurts to have HIPAA compliance in any application, right? Like it's one less reason to cross it off the list. But in what scenario when we're signing up for a ticket to an event, do we need to know their blood type? It's just, I can't think of a scenario, I guess, where that would be needed. I'm sure it's there. They were asked for this,
and
right?
as part of the event, we were doing a blood drive.
Okay, there we go.
Right? So we're doing an event, a wine tasting event. And at the wine tasting event, before everybody starts drinking, we want them to give blood.
Yep, naturally.
Yeah. And then, while they're a little dizzy, we're going to give them some wine. And that would fit. That would be where they need to know. But anyway, if you do run events where as part of the registration for that event and person getting a ticket or coming in, you're going to be collecting personal health information, Zoho Backstage has got you covered.
And
really
now
I can sleep better.
Nice little feature.
I really can. I know. All right. And then wrapping up the news for real this time, you can now assign tickets to agents in a defined sequence. Tyler and I were kicking this around before the show to try to understand how this differs from round robin. So Zoho Desk has direct assignment, where tickets are assigned directly to a specific agent based upon predefined conditions. Round robin assignment, where tickets are distributed in a round robin manner, but here's the catch, to just ensure a equitable workload. You've got load balancing and skill-based round robin, and now sequential assignment, where you really don't care. It's round robin that is going to be assigned in a particular order no matter what. So in this case, they're saying it's going to go to Amelia, and then it's going to go to Dawn, and then it's going to go to James. This even allows you to follow that same sequence even when a person isn't working. So you can say even if they're offline, you can assign it to them. So, but if you do set, and you can set thresholds on that, but basically it's sequential ticket assignment now, where it's just evenly distributing the tickets sequentially, one after another. So
yeah, and kind of the big difference is like the traditional load-based assignment looks at how many open tickets they have now, where sequential is just more of like a straightforward order, right? First Brett, then Tyler, then Freddie, then Brett, then Tyler, then Freddie. No matter how many I've closed in the meantime, it's always just going to go in that particular order. Advantage of load balancing is you could think that if people are getting tickets done faster, maybe they should get more of the tickets. Advantage of sequence-based is that if you do have certain agents that are performing significantly higher, then load balancing ends up putting them in a position where they're doing all the work, right? Because they're closing out their tickets faster, so they're getting more tickets, right? So this can kind of give you a better gauge on like who's really performing, because if you're taking a little bit of that load balancing out, then you'll be able to identify, hey, Brett and Freddie are closing their tickets and Tyler isn't, because we've given them all the same amount and his are all still open. Just a minor tweak. With round robin, it's always nice to have more options, especially built into the UI, so that we don't need to write code to do a round robin, which is a pretty common business use case.
Absolutely. All right. And that is going to wrap up this week's news. So Tyler, what is our implementation of the week?
Alrighty, implementation of the week for this week is a build that we did here with Zoho Billings, formerly called Subscriptions, kind of improving the integration to Zoho CRM using Zoho Analytics as an intermediate. So really our goal here was to sync additional data to the CRM account records about any subscriptions that their contacts underneath them might have. And so the first thing that we did is set up a summary table over inside of Zoho Analytics that basically rounds up all of the subscription data associated to contacts underneath each individual account and run some like aggregates against it. We use that data initially to kind of import to CRM to create that initial data set. Then we set up an additional table to show where there were differences, basically meaning that the CRM requires an update. So if analytics says this account has an monthly recurring revenue of 5,000, CRM says it's 4,000, then it will now show up on this list because something has changed since last time that CRM data was updated. And then lastly, all we need to do is set up a scheduled function that looks at this, table of differences every day and updates that data back into the CRM accounts records, as they match with that table. So we find ourselves doing this a lot where there are baseline integrations for many Zoho apps. There is one for subscriptions and CRM, but they don't always satisfy every particular need, right? So we can use that initial integration to like lay the groundwork and then build additional scripted functionality like this to kind of round out that integration with any other requirements that customer may have.
Very nice.
And big shout out to Hunter and Andrew. Great job on this build, guys.
There you go. All right. Good implementation. With that, let's head back over to Club Z and we see what our code share of the week is. Greg is back at it. Update your invoice recipients on a subscription in Zoho Billing. So this is a script. So basically in Zoho Billing, Zoho Subscriptions, you have got a check on the subscription page. You've got check boxes for the various contacts that are associated with that. Those are the people that are going to receive the invoices. This is a script that will update that based on a set of parameters that you pass it. I imagine the use case for this is if you wanted to add something like accounting or AP or something like that, something specific would be the use case for this.
Yeah, and specifically too, if these things like change over time, you want to be able to have a script that can kind of update and associate that into the CRM. Or if you need like multiple recipients of a subscription, right? Again, it's most of the time you're going to have that one person and they're going to be the main one throughout the whole, process. Right. But yeah, if you're dealing with customers with like many different stakeholders who need to be aware of any billing against their accounts, this is an easy way to set up a sync that will just connect wherever you're storing those recipients. So like maybe a checkbox in the CRM, right? For like receives invoices, right? And then all of those people who receive invoices can be associated with the appropriate condition or subscriptions.
I like this. Did we implement this? Because I know we have been talking about this internally. I wonder if this was done for us.
No, I think I could bet the client this was done for.
Not Zenatta Consulting?
Not for us, yeah. Not on our side.
All right. Very good. All right. There's your code share. And as always, while you're at Club Z, if you haven't, please go to club.zenatta.com. It is our online community. We have an amazing general discussion area. You can catch up on all the Zoho news real time. You don't need to wait for the show. You can just go to the whole news section, and as it comes in, as we find it, we drop it in here with links to it, kind of brief discussions. It's worth checking out, and we would love it if you would participate in our community over at the general discussion area and just kind of hang out, ask your questions, participate in Freddie's quizzes. There's so much going on over at Club Zenatta. If you are a user of Zoho and you are just looking for that great Zoho community, you can find it here. And all we ask is your email address. No money. We won't sell it. We won't anything. You will get our newsletter, but we just want to make sure that you are you. And go ahead and check out Club Z. And with that, we don't do this very often, Tyler, but let's take a look at our read of the week. Over from the Zapier blog, they are giving us the best AI chatbots in 2024. They're looking ahead to 2024. Here they are. So are you looking for something rather than the OG of ChatGPT? Well, I didn't even know there were this many chatbots around, AI chatbots, but there are quite a few, and they are listing every single one of them here. So I don't know if you ever heard of, I've heard of Zoho Bar or Google Bard and Microsoft Bing AI, which is really ChatGPT, I think, right?
Kind of a dumbed down version for
Yeah,
use
but I haven't heard of
search.
Claude or Metalama or Pi or Poe or Perplexity or Grok or the Hugging Chat or Koala Chat.
Yeah, it's one of
It's a
those
lot.
things. You have the big players, and then everyone tries to get in kind of more specific areas, like if we can solve for a more finite use case, right, in the space. So we'll see that fracturing, right, across the market as everyone tries to make a more specific play.
Yeah. So there's just a whole. There's a very, 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 very long article. Could I say another "very" in there? It goes on and goes through all of these, and there's a bunch listed here. So I don't know. What are we looking at? Almost 15 to 20
Yep.
different chatbots. I had no idea, and so they kind of go through each of them in detail. So if you're saying, you know what, ChatGPT isn't doing it for me, I want something just a little more suited to me. Maybe you want Llama 2.ai. God knows, because Llama 1 was a big hit, right? So you need Llama 2. Anyway, this is, you can get your GPTs on here and get chatting. And of course, almost all of these are going to integrate with Zapier because this is the Zapier blog. So they're also showing you how
Yeah,
all of
weird
these
surprise. Yeah, that they all plug into Zapier.
Yeah. Which is good news, which means they all probably have APIs that can be tapped into. So we are living, it's a new world. It's a new world. I mean, if you think about the intro to our show and just what has happened in the last year with AI, it's quite astounding. So head over to Zapier in our newsletter. You can this link to this blog will be in there. And by the way, they have a great blog. I think HubSpot's got a great blog. Zapier's got a great blog. There are just a few of these companies out there that really do a really nice job with their blogs. Very informative information. So check that out. So good job, Miguel Rebello, over at Zapier. And moving on, let's head over to Zenatta and see what's happening over there. This is pretty funny. So this is an end-of-year system review for your Zoho CRM, and it's basically just kind of going through and cleaning things up at the end of the year. It's actually using stuff from our CRM, which is asked about. So you've got, workflows that haven't been used in, I don't know, years that are in here, and your audit form fields, kind of go through, look at all of your custom fields. Are you using them anymore? Do you have redundant fields? Going through this, it's a whole little checklist of things you may want to go through. I love this one. It's got basically templates, and we have templates from 2017 that have never been used that probably all need to be cleaned out. So it's just a nice little thing of, hey, maybe run through your CRM and give it a good spring cleaning or winter cleaning, I guess, as the case may be, and clean it up. Valuable. I mean, especially think you can really get out of control, especially if you're active in your CRM. I mean, the whole part around looking at each module and all of the fields that are in that module, and what are you still using? What needs to be cleaned up? All of this kind of stuff. So we're taking a look
and
at this.
even more important if you have multiple people that have made configuration changes to the system, either over time or even like concurrently, just to make sure that everything that's getting built in there is being used. I know just the other day, Josh removed a bunch of old buttons from the deals of just like old proposal templates, old this, old that.
Right.
So yeah, it happens to everybody over time. You kind of accumulate a little bit of mess in your own backyard. So yeah, good habit to just make a routine out of clearing some of this old stuff out in your CRM.
All right, and let's wrap this thing up and head on over to our tip of the week. And Alex is at it. He's how to create pop-up forms in Zoho Creator. And Alex is going to step you through step by step in Zoho Creator how to make and deploy a pop-up form in Zoho Creator. So very nice. Good to see Alex put some stuff out.
Absolutely. definitely a creator expert here internally at Zenatta. And honestly, some of these things I didn't know you could do a pop-up form in Creator. That's pretty nice. Looks like one of those tricks where you're embedding some deluge in some HTML, a little bit of blended development, and then you can have this kind of pop-up view that you see. If you're watching us on YouTube, you see it there were kind of overlays on the existing list or report that you're looking at, just to make the user experience a little smoother as people are entering in data.
Yeah. Very, very, very cool. Well, Josh hits us with a pop-up every single day. When you log in the morning, you have to, say how busy you are. Give me more. That's a nice little pop-up that hits the Creator app every day. So very, very cool. Step-by-step guide. And Alex, fantastic job. If you don't know, we create more content in the world of Zoho than anybody else in the entire world. So you might want to head over to youtube.com/Zenatta. If you are looking for a particular video having to do with Zoho, odds are we've created it and you most likely can find it. So head over to youtube.com/Zenatta and you most likely it's there. You can find what you're looking for in all of the videos we created, because we are, in fact, the #1 Zoho partner in the Americas, Tyler. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've been made aware.
Yeah.
Made aware.
Yeah. That's pretty exciting. And we are at, it looks like next week, Tyler, we should hit 14,000 subscribers to close out the year any day now.
Sneak it in right at the end of the year. One more angel gets their wings before we wrap for the holiday.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Well, hey, everybody, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the show. If you would like to get a hold of us over here at Zenatta, we would certainly love to speak with you. And if you go over to Zenatta.com, we have book a meeting buttons on virtually every single page. You click that button and you will be talking to myself or Tyler or someone at Zenatta in no time at all.
On the website is also where you'll find complete episodes of the show, as well as links to all the stories we discussed today. If you want that news delivered to your inbox every single Monday morning, be sure to also subscribe to our newsletter. And last but not least, if you found this show useful, be sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube, as well as your choice of podcast app. We'll see you next Friday.
So, Freddie, you could have done that part as AI as well. That'd be good. Just end it with an AI every time.
Like it. I mean, yeah, right. I mean, the options are endless. I don't know. Whatever we want to do with AI, let's throw it in.
Perfect. Have a great weekend, everyone.